$95 billion vanished while an entire nation starves. As Iranian citizens struggle to survive, shocking claims suggest Khamenei and Iran's powerful mullah elite quietly fled to Moscow. This is not rumor. This is a financial and political earthquake you need to understand. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are uncovering one of the most disturbing financial scandals in modern Iranian history. Iran is facing economic collapse, yet its ruling elite appear wealthier and safer than ever. While ordinary citizens struggle to survive on just a few dollars a day, serious allegations claim that Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei and Iran's powerful mullah elite looted $95 billion from state resources. Even more shocking, reports suggest many of them fled to Moscow as public anger exploded at home. This is not simply about corruption. This is about betrayal at the highest level. Iran is a country rich in oil, gas, and human talent, yet its people face hunger, unemployment, and despair. Inflation has crushed wages, savings have evaporated, and daily survival has become a struggle. Meanwhile, the elite allegedly secured foreign assets, luxury properties, and political protection. In this video, we will examine how this money was taken, why Moscow matters, how citizens are reacting, and what this means for Iran's future. Stay with us through every section, because this story explains not only Iran's collapse, but how power protects itself when systems begin to fail completely. To grasp the scale of outrage inside Iran, we must understand daily life for ordinary people. Prices for food, fuel, and rent have surged beyond reach. Salaries no longer cover basic needs. Many families survive by selling possessions or relying on relatives abroad. $7 a day is the harsh reality for millions. Hospitals face shortages. Pharmacies lack medicine. Young graduates see no future. Yet government officials continue to speak of strength and resistance. This disconnect fuels anger. Workers strike, retirees protest, teachers demand unpaid wages. The response is often silence or force. Meanwhile, enormous sums continue flowing in opaque institutions controlled by clerical elites. These organizations operate without transparency or accountability. For years, they accumulated wealth beyond public oversight. As sanctions tightened and revenues shrank, these funds became escape reserves for those at the top. Instead of stabilizing the economy, resources were quietly diverted. Citizens now ask a simple question: where did the money go? The answer increasingly points inward, not outward. This economic suffering forms the emotional core of the crisis. It explains why allegations of looted billions resonate so deeply and why public patience has finally snapped. The alleged $95 billion did not disappear overnight. Analysts trace it to decades of unchecked financial control. Wealth flowed through religious foundations, energy monopolies, construction empires, and military-linked businesses. These networks answered only to the supreme leader. No audits, no oversight. During oil booms, profits piled up. During sanctions, complex channels kept money moving. According to leaked reports and insider testimonies, funds were shifted abroad gradually. Foreign accounts, real estate, gold, and cryptocurrencies became tools of preservation. As Iran's economy deteriorated rapidly, withdrawals accelerated. Elites prepared exit strategies while publicly denying any crisis existed. This pattern mirrors other collapsing regimes. Leaders secure themselves first. For Iranians, these revelations confirm long-held suspicions. The same officials who demanded sacrifice were secretly cashing out. Whether the exact figure is $95 billion or more, the scale represents stolen futures. That money could have funded hospitals, schools, infrastructure, and jobs. Instead, it allegedly financed escape. This sense of theft fuels not only anger but humiliation. A nation was stripped quietly while slogans promised justice. That contradiction is now impossible to hide. Moscow's role in this story adds a powerful geopolitical dimension. Russia and Iran have strengthened ties under sanctions pressure. Financial cooperation, energy coordination, and military alignment deepened rapidly. This relationship allegedly created safe channels for elite protection. Moscow offers banking alternatives, political cover, and physical security. For Iranian elites fearing unrest or collapse, Russia represents a reliable refuge. Reports suggest luxury properties, private security, and discreet travel arrangements were prepared in advance. The symbolism is striking. While citizens face hunger and repression, leaders allegedly seek safety abroad. Russia's willingness to host Iranian elites raises serious questions. It internationalizes Iran's crisis and exposes how sanctioned money moves across borders. For Moscow, sheltering Iranian power figures increases leverage. For Tehran, it deepens dependency. This alleged flight signals something deeper than corruption. It signals loss of confidence in the system itself. When leaders plan escape routes, they reveal fear. That fear spreads. It weakens authority, morale, and loyalty within institutions. The idea that rulers might abandon the country accelerates instability and reshapes public perception permanently. Inside Iran, public reaction has been fierce. Social media, despite censorship, overflows with anger and disbelief. Citizens compare their empty tables with images of elite luxury abroad. Protest slogans now target the entire ruling structure. Trust has collapsed. Even groups once loyal express disillusionment. Veterans, workers, and religious families openly question leadership. The government denies allegations and blames foreign enemies, but denial cannot erase hunger. Each new report deepens rage. Security forces remain active, but morale is strained. Repression is expensive and unsustainable. History shows that economic injustice erodes fear. When survival is threatened, repression loses power. Iran may not fall overnight, but the social contract is broken. People feel abandoned. That emotional shift is critical. It transforms isolated protests into collective resistance. Once people believe leaders will flee rather than fix problems, loyalty evaporates. The streets become unpredictable. The future becomes unstable. This is why the story matters far beyond finances. It reshapes the psychology of a nation. Internationally, these allegations complicate an already volatile landscape. Western governments reassess sanctions narratives. Evidence of elite looting weakens claims that hardship is caused solely by external pressure. Human rights organizations emphasize the moral dimension. Starvation alongside stolen billions, financial regulators examine money laundering routes. Assets abroad may face scrutiny. Russia's involvement draws attention and potential backlash. Regional rivals monitor shifts carefully. Allies grow cautious. A leadership preparing escape cannot be trusted long-term. Energy markets feel uncertainty as instability grows. Iranian diaspora communities amplify stories globally. Increasing pressure, this external spotlight intensifies internal stress. Iran now faces not only domestic anger, but a credibility crisis worldwide. Diplomacy becomes harder. Negotiations lose trust. The leadership's choices in coming months will shape Iran's global standing. Transparency could ease pressure. Denial will worsen it. The world is watching closely. History offers clear lessons. Regimes rarely survive when elites visibly separate themselves from citizens. Iran's situation echoes past collapses. When leaders secure wealth and exits, they signal surrender. Citizens notice. Bureaucrats hesitate. Loyalty weakens. Economic activity slows further. Force alone cannot restore legitimacy. Real reform would require accountability and transparency. But those steps threaten entrenched networks. This creates paralysis. Doing nothing accelerates collapse. Acting honestly risks exposure. This dilemma defines Iran's present moment. The coming months will test whether repression intensifies or limited reform begins. Either path carries danger. What is certain is that old narratives no longer work. Empty promises cannot fill empty plates. The population now watches actions, not speeches. Who stays? Who leaves? Where the money goes? These details matter more than ideology. Once belief is lost, change becomes inevitable, though unpredictable. For ordinary Iranians, this crisis is deeply personal. Parents choose between food and medicine. Workers labor without pay. Youth see no future. Against this reality, hearing about billions allegedly stolen feels like cruelty layered on suffering. Anger mixes with grief. Many still love their country, but feel trapped by its rulers. Diaspora voices amplify these emotions worldwide. Awareness spreads faster than censorship. The narrative shifts from endurance to accountability. People no longer ask when life will improve. They ask who took everything. That question is dangerous for any regime. It reframes struggle as moral. Once framed that way, compromise becomes impossible. Iran's future now hinges on accountability or continued escape. Survival remains priority, but dignity matters too. Dignity cannot coexist with unchecked theft. This emotional transformation may be the most powerful force shaping what comes next. Several futures now compete. One path is intensified repression and isolation. This may delay change but deepens suffering. Another path involves limited reform and asset recovery. This requires unprecedented courage. A third path is chaotic transition driven by economic collapse and unrest. None are painless. The alleged looting and flight have narrowed options. Trust cannot be ordered, it must be earned. Citizens respond to hunger and hope. International actors respond to evidence. Iran stands at a crossroads defined by money, movement, and truth. The story is still unfolding. Every leak, protest, and transfer adds clarity. For now, a resource-rich nation struggles under betrayal. The next chapter will define a generation and reshape the region. This story extends beyond Iran. It is a warning about power without accountability. When leaders treat the state as personal property, collapse follows. Allegations of $95 billion stolen while citizens starve represent a moral failure with global consequences. Iran's people deserve transparency and a future built on shared prosperity. Whether that future arrives soon or after more suffering remains uncertain. What is clear is that silence no longer protects elites. Information spreads faster than fear. Anger travels faster than repression. The perception of elite flight accelerates history. Staying informed matters. Understanding financial systems, political alliances, and human impact cuts through propaganda. This channel exists to provide that clarity. We will continue tracking developments, verifying claims, and amplifying ignored voices. Iran's crisis reflects a global pattern where citizens pay for elite greed. Awareness is the first step toward accountability. And accountability, once demanded by enough people, becomes unstoppable.